overall the energy. Good morning. Morning, my dearest sister. Just a second, and we're starting. Okay. Live on TikTok. Today is a beautiful and a little stressful day. A good day. Today's 29th lunar day. A good day to clean the apartment, clean the space for the new moon. Tomorrow is new moon, and it's also the sun and moon are both in Scorpio, so it's kind of mysterious, a little challenging, a little deep. Also, Mars is also in Scorpio. The good news, though, is that Venus is in Libra, very light, very Monica, very light, very just enjoyable sign. So Venus was in Virgo for some time, and finally it moved to Libra. It's home, so I'm excited, super excited. I hope you also. So this dreadful Scorpionian energy will not be as hard as we thought it might be. Also, Mercury moved to Sagittarius. So right now in conversation, we're not holding the grudge. We're basically just speaking the truth, which is also good. I also wanted to give a couple words about tomorrow's new moon. So tomorrow's new moon in Scorpio, meaning that moon and sun are both in Scorpio. Now, if you usually manifest something on new moon, I wouldn't suggest you to do it this new moon because this new moon is opposing Uranus and Jupiter. So it's a little it's not a peaceful new moon. So I would rather just leave this day and maybe manifest like on Wednesday or some other day. So not tomorrow. Because if you will want to start something this month, you wouldn't want it to start hard, right? You would want to be a little peaceful. Energy alignments I also start on Tuesday, and because tomorrow is not a very harmonious day for anything basically. But overall it should be good. I like this kind of energies. So today we're going to be talking about women in masculine energy. So today is women in masculine energy, and tomorrow next Sunday, women in feminine energy. So we will see what are the benefits and advantages and disadvantages of both energies, and what they can use for their good morning TikTok for their benefit. How can they become more feminine? Because when I work with feminine women, they always complain, oh, I don't have masculinity, that's why my life is so hard. Then I speak to masculine women and they're like, well, I don't have femininity, so my life is so hard. Truly it is not. Both energies are good, and we just need to embrace them a little bit. Embrace and learn how to develop other energies and how to use our own energies for our advantage. So we're going to talk today about masculine energies, women in masculine energies. So these are women that either were born in masculine energies, or they choose to be in masculine energy. Like me, for example, for a long time I was in masculine energy, and I still often am, because this is basically a habit, a habit that was cultivated for many years. So remember, we live in a masculine society. So whether you want it or not, masculine traits will be always supported more. So, for example, if I would go open a business and I will be hustling and I will make a lot of money, I will be more praised than if I would be just sitting here and talking to men and asking them for money, or even not asking but just receiving money from men. People will be judging me like, oh, look at this gold digger. But what is the difference? What is the difference really? There's no difference. It's just because we live in a masculine society, hustling, working hard is more um, more appreciated, maybe even um, more supported, so to say, at least in our Western culture. So it doesn't mean that it's right, but it is what it is. So today I'm going to talk about masculine women. The women mostly that were born in masculine energy. So how to know whether you're masculine or feminine woman? Well, basically you need to look at your planets. So these are the six placements that you need to look. Your Sun, your Moon, your Venus, your Mars, your Mercury, and your rising sign. So these planets are considered personal, like Neptune, Jupiter, Uranus. These are social planets, so they are not personal planets. The planets that I named, these are personal planets. So Mars, Venus, Moon, Sun, and Mercury, and rising sign, they are all personal placements. So look where they are, and based on those placements, you will find out whether you were born masculine or feminine, in what energies you were born. So if most of the planets are fire and air, this that means that you are mostly masculine. If most of the planets are earth and water, that means that you're mostly um, feminine. Now, this is how you were born, right? So we were born with particular energies. So this is what we were given from with the birth, from the basically the planets were at that moment. So this is the energies that we received when we were born. Now we were also brought up in a particular families, in particular societies. So if I would be brought up somewhere in the Middle East, maybe I would be brought up more feminine. Maybe I would be encouraged to not go to school, but instead learn how to cook, or how to be soft and receptive. So these are also we get influenced by the society, but by our family, right? Like for example, I'm from a Western society, so to say. Both of my parents were working, and they were expecting for me a great career. So I was brought up in a masculine society. So masculinity was not only um, welcomed, but it was praised. Basically, it was really like a dream come true. So can you imagine, you will have a career when you grow up? So it was something really, really great that my parents wanted for me, as they wanted for maybe themselves. So having a family and kids were not their priority. So I was brought up like this, and I think many people were brought up, many ladies were brought up like that too, which is fine, obviously. So my dominant energies are feminine, but because I was brought up in a masculine society, in a masculine way, I was masculine for a long time. I could not really speak for masculine women that were born in masculine energy, because obviously I don't know how it feels to be masculine, but I prepared some theoretical answers here. Maybe you can help me a little bit with that. But I know what it is to be in masculine energy and in dirty feminine too. So usually when a woman is in masculine energy, driven by masculine energy, her femininity is weak. Why? Because it's not needed. Like, why would I need feminine energy if I can just cater to myself and I can go and get myself everything? Then I don't need it. So if I don't have feminine energy in me, then what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and look for it. So I probably will start looking for a man who can who can give me that feminine energy, who can give me the pleasure, who can give me love, who can give me some kind of warmth, because I don't have it in me. I choose to be in masculine energy. And this, I think, one of the downfalls for masculine energy, for women in masculine energy. So remember, no matter what kind of energy you were born, if you were born in the body of a woman like I was, the goal is to develop feminine energy and femininity and be well-rounded person. But 75% of the time, it's expected from me and from other ladies to be in feminine energy. This is a harmonious way. This is it's natural. This is how it's supposed to be. So whether you want it or not, that's how it will be, and it's supposed to be. So I know people who I know women that prefer to be in masculine energy. They don't mind, they enjoy it, and this is their choice. But does it make them happy? No, it doesn't. Really, I don't know one happy woman like that. They do drink. They take some substances to keep themselves at some kind of happy. So yes, they have a successful career. They have they have money. They travel. They can buy themselves anything. Are they happy? Not. Well, from those that I know, they're not really. Okay. So, but there are advantages to be in masculine energy, and let's go through them. So the first advantage is that they are stronger than men. They're strong as men, and sometimes even more than men. So what I mean strong, I mean usually they're physically strong also, but they're also strong. Like they are not afraid of challenges. They actually crave challenges. They crave competition. They like to be challenged. They like to act. So some man would be challenged with such a woman because she doesn't mind none of that. So he's not a hero for her. She can be a hero for him. So but it's great. I mean, they're very strong. They're not afraid of they don't have fears. They are not worried about nothing. They really can take this world, and they can manipulate this world, this masculine world, to their advantage. Now they also feel more confident because they are masculine, and they're in a masculine society. They feel very confident. They feel like they can do it all. Basically, they can have any kind of career. They can do anything they want. They can become as successful as they want. They can have any money as they want. It's talking about money. It's much easier for them to get money. So because they're not afraid of doing anything, of connecting with anybody, because they're so active, they really don't have issues to make money. Masculine way though, masculine. Another one is they are not emotional. And now you will say, well, Anastasia, isn't it good to be emotional? You always say that emotional is good. Well, I will tell you, it's good to be emotional, but it's also could be challenging. So, for example, if there is some kind of issues, they are not going to run to the bathroom and cry. They are not going to be jealous. My nose is itching. Why? Is it for some wealth or what? So they are not jealous. They don't really care if their man is flirting with somebody. They compete, but they don't feel vulnerable like that. So they are not emotional. They can analytically think about any situation and come to some kind of conclusion. So yes, they are very ego driven. That's true, but they are not emotional, so it doesn't hurt them. So for example, they wouldn't get into like fears, into worries. Like if they get laid off from work, they're like, well, yeah, fine, we'll find another one. Like I was even wanting it to happen. So they're not emotional. They're easy to connect and network. This is a trait that I was always wanting to have from my masculine friends, my masculine girlfriends. I really enjoyed how they can basically connect with anybody, and they crave this connection. They love to meet new people. They love to connect to women, and to men, to anybody, and they like new connections. So feminine energy likes to develop their connections that they already have. Masculine women, they like to develop new connections. They are not afraid. They're basically not afraid to meet new people, to acquaint with new people, to talk to new people. They really enjoy it. The same with any kind of activity. They're easy to, like this. You want to do something, let's do it. So they are really open to experiences of life. They are really open to anything. You want to go somewhere, let's go. They are not afraid of what if I have work, what if I do this one. They are not afraid of nothing. They are really not challenged like that. So another one is they're easy to start something, opening new projects. This is probably to what I was just saying. So they are very if they decide on something, they can easily start it. I mean, are they going to develop it, continue with the project? I don't know, but they can easily start it. They are very active. They don't analyze for too long. They don't think for too long. They would rather do something and regret than don't do and regret. So something like that. And they don't mind to fail and try again and try again and try again. So this is also very admiring. I mean, there is really nothing for them that could stop them. So and it's really fascinating, so to say. I wish I could be this fast. So I would need to analyze, think about it for so long, and just come with enough energy. They don't. They basically take the energy from acting. So the same with new projects. They are not afraid. They are not going to analyze and write business plans. They are not going to ask. They will ask a couple people, but for the most part, they are open to start anything and right away. Now another thing is they have usually masculine women. They have very beautiful physique. So because they're masculine, they have so fire and air. Usually they're very slender because the energy is so much moving so much faster. Their metabolism is really good. So because the metabolism is so good, they usually slender. They don't gain weight easily. Now besides that they don't gain weight easily, they also are active, right? So they always moving around. They like to go to the gyms. They like to do sports. They just acting like that. So their bodies are usually very nice. If you will see a beautiful woman somewhere outside, usually she's masculine. For feminine women, it's much harder to work on their bodies, and I will speak about this next time. But yeah. So besides their bodies, they also make sure that they take care of their face, of their hair, of everything. Like they taken care to the teeth, the nails. They always make sure, especially energy of fire. These women, they look after themselves like crazy. Now I will give the reason why they do it, obviously, after. So usually these women are much more beautiful than women in feminine energy. If you will see a gray mouse somewhere, that she's probably a feminine woman. Women in masculine energy are bright. They're seriously bright, and they like they're beautiful. Basically, they put effort in it. Now, what is another benefit to being a masculine energy? They can do it all by themselves. They truly, to survive in our masculine society, they don't need a man. Like me, for example, I'm a feminine woman. I would probably need a man to survive here. Because I don't have the physical and mental capacity to work so much. I'm not enjoying being active and doing something all the time. So I would much rather give pleasure and receive and have a man that would take care of me. So a husband or boyfriend, something like that. So my role in this life is different. So what I do. I work with energy. I coach women, and I'm pretty happy with that. But if I would have to work like longer hours, more stressful, I probably wouldn't be able to do that. So, but masculine women can survive with no problem and probably will be very successful because they don't mind to work so hard. They don't mind to connect, to act, to start new projects. They are open to it. They crave it. This is their experience in life. They could be very successful, and they could be very wealthy. So physically in the world, they can survive and will be very very good at their surviving. Now, so what are the disadvantages for masculine women? Masculine women. First of all, they need outside validation very much because so masculinity is strong outside, femininity is strong inside. So masculine women need validation outside, and if they don't get that validation, they feel very self-conscious. They feel really really bad. Like you can, it's I think I was put in a post once, how to destroy energy of fire, remove the grounding, remove the validation, and that's it. Energy of fire will just crumble. So masculine energy needs validation very, very much. Otherwise, they will feel like, what I'm doing here. So they do a lot of work, charity. They will buy all their friends the best gifts. They will do. They will pay for everybody in the restaurant, just so they will buy the best clothing, the most expensive bags, just so they have this validation. If they don't, they will lose themselves in the society. Remember, we're in a masculine society, and our masculine society is built around who is better, who is not, the possessions, right, the money, which I don't like. I don't mind. I'm just saying how it is, right? So the masculine women, they need this. They need to be validated, they need to be praised, and they need to know that they're the best. They need to know that they're still competing. If they will know they're not competing, they will lose themselves. They like, now what am I supposed to do? Like, why should I make money for what? Like, what is the goal in my life if there is no more, if I don't have to impress nobody, if I don't have to compete? It's like masculine women will be lost in that case. Another one, so coming from this one, they need to be needed and they need to care. So they do crave this, because then they feel like they're needed in the society. Like the more so basically masculinity earns love. Femininity has love in them. So feminine energy has love and pleasure, masculine energy has care and strength. So how to get the love and pleasure from somebody who's feminine? They need to kind of earn it. They need to give something in return. So that's why masculine women, they like to cater. They like to care for somebody, but not care like empathetically. But they don't mind to buy something. They don't mind to to like drive you somewhere or something like that. Something like provide some kind of care. Now, despite the fact that they connect with people so much, that they make new friends easily, despite the fact that they know a lot of people, they probably well connected, they really usually are very lonely and they don't have friends. So they do a lot of connections. They do know half of the probably city, maybe even more. So they if they need something, they can always find the right person for this. But do they have friends? No, they don't have friends. Usually it's the same people, usually the same masculine people as they are. Basically, they just connecting because they are lonely and they just want to connect. When I first moved to Miami, I went to a couple this women retreat. So like it was a day for like with meditation, and I'm not sure why I went there really, because I meditate at home. But I went because I was new here and I kind of wanted to meet people, to market myself. So most of women who go to these events, they are very masculine. Why they go? Because they have nothing to do and they crave friendships. They really crave to be in this feminine energy somehow, because they don't have it themselves. So they don't value their friends. They don't. They basically, because masculine energy is so self-centered and selfish in a good way, I hope, that's what happened. They don't really care for other people. And that's why they don't have friends. They also don't have patience to grow the friendship. Friendship takes time. Take some kind of maybe compromises to grow, to be built. But they don't have this patience. They're so focused on their projects, on what they need to do, of how they need to do, that they don't have time to kind of to grow any kind of relationship, not only friendship, but also relationship with men. Now, also they need somebody who will be as spontaneous and as fast as them. And some usually feminine women, they could not cater to that. They just don't have capacity for that. So they're lonely. Usually they're very lonely inside, and they don't have friends. So even if you see, like I have in my Instagram some ladies, they're masculine, and I see they're in this company, in that company, in that company, and then you talk to them and you understand how truly lonely they are. If they wouldn't be in these companies, they would feel like they become super depressed. So you might think that they are so, like, they have so many friends. Truly they are not. They're just basically trying to cover the loneliness with outside validation. So this is another thing. So Another disadvantage, they don't have softness. So they're usually very sharp, sometimes even aggressive. So being masculine and being aggressive is good, but when you're a woman and you're aggressive, it's a little it's it's not so good because you're a beautiful woman and then you just you don't give no softness. There's no such energy of pleasure coming out from you, and nobody wants to be around, basically a mannequin without any kind of softness. So a masculine woman could be also aggressive, but if it's okay from a man to kind of have some kind of aggression, then from a woman to have aggression is strange. That's why often they're friends with the same people because they don't mind to be aggressive to each other. So energy of air, for example, could be very like could be distant, disattached, and tell you the truth straight into your face. Energy of fire could be very demanding, like they need your attention all the time. And this what makes them a little hard. So they are not easy people. They are not easy people to deal with. But again, they are not emotional, so it's impossible to make them upset. So you can say them, like if you have somebody, a friend of energy of fire, and she's always on your back, she demands your attention all the time, very needy, you can tell her, hey, back off a little bit. She won't get upset. This is the thing about them, because they don't have emotions, you won't hurt them. And the biggest disadvantage that I would put down here, it's they don't have pleasure, they don't have love, and they don't have vision. They don't have patience and they don't have empathy. So, well, it could be good and bad, but important that they don't have pleasure, they don't have vision, they don't have love. So remember, feminine chakras are second, fourth, and sixth, right? So these three chakras. So the second one is pleasure, the fourth one is love, and the sixth one is vision. Now, masculine women usually don't have vision. They usually want what somebody else wants because they like to compete. So, for example, like I went to Turkey. I have a friend. She wants to go to Turkey too. Like she never even thought about Turkey. She always was kind of thinking about other countries. Now she wants to go to Turkey. Why? Because I went to Turkey. She needs to. I don't mind. Turkey is a beautiful country. Let her go. And obviously, I would want anybody to go anywhere. But this is a bright example, like a real good example of how masculine energy operates. They don't have a vision. They get inspired from somebody else. So and usually they get inspired from feminine energy, so they need something, so they can get it, but they need to know where to go, like what to strive for. They need ideas. They don't have this. They need vision. And I think I have a lot of masculine clients. I think that's what I'm helping them with. I'm helping them with the vision, because they know how to get something. They don't know what they truly want, and they're confused like that. Now, again, they don't have pleasure. So because they don't have pleasure, it's very hard for them. Like they can easily get relationship. They draw men. I mean, they're obviously very beautiful. They draw men in, but because they don't have pleasure, it's very hard for them to sustain the relationship. And love, obviously. Why masculine women are so much into their physique, why they look after their body so much, and they always try to fix something on their face. They do a lot of botox, a lot of different stuff, because they never love themselves. They always try to improve themselves as much as they can. They keep on doing it and doing and doing because they don't love. Now, do they love somebody else? No. Masculine energy is not about love. So if you expect a masculine man to love you, that would be very strange, because they have no capacity to give that. It's not love that they give care. Now, so they don't have vision, love, and pleasure. And this is crucial for every woman to do, because without pleasure, you can't really create. So it will be very hard for a woman without pleasure to get pregnant. Almost impossible, I would say. Now, without vision, they wouldn't know where to move on. So they will be just basically, they will be easily influenced by everybody else because they don't have their own vision. And without love, it will be very hard for them to sustain any kind of relationship because they don't connect with anybody on the heart level. Now, patience and empathy, this whether you may need it or not, but patience and empathy is something that helps building relationship. If you don't if you don't feel nothing for nobody, if you don't try to understand anybody, then how can you build the relationship? Now, so what to do with all this, right? Obviously. Oh, I also wanted to say, usually masculine women think that they are all that. And I want to, and it's disappointing because they are not all that. They're as good as feminine women. Just because feminine women are a little softer, maybe a little genteel, a little gentle, and a little vulnerable, doesn't mean that they are weaker than masculine women. Because they could be really, really strong. And also, sometimes masculine energy takes not acting for a weakness. Just because I don't jump on the opportunity and do something doesn't mean that I'm weaker than another person. It just means that I need to think my actions through. So when I do it, it will be right. Because I am not doing actions all the time. I do actions once and it's right. So masculine energy can be often arrogant because of that. Like they can think that they're much better than others because they're all that, and it's not true. I want to I want you all to understand that just because you are fast to act and because you everywhere doesn't mean that you're better than somebody who is preferring to stay at home for the whole week and then maybe just decide to go and do something. It's not it's just the way of how some people operate. Masculine energy is a little outside and all over the place. Feminine energy is inside and just gets stuff done in their own way, which we're going to talk next time. So what to do? I mean, obviously these women somehow they need to get to femininity like I needed to. Well, so the first thing, they need to learn how to be still. Think about that. I will drink water. Yes, you will think that it's easy. No, for masculine women, it's very hard. Just to stay still without the phone, without any thoughts for 10 minutes is very challenging for them. Very challenging. They will start feeling like they're wasting time. Like they can do something useful with their time instead of sitting still. I remember I had a client and she ordered one of my candles, and I told her, you need to burn it for half an hour, 15 minutes to half an hour every day, and just sit there, watch the candle, and basically and think about what you want. And she's like, where can a person find half an hour just to sit and do nothing, not watch TV, not look at the phone? I said, well, you will have to find this time. So she was burning the candle for the whole year. And finally, when she finished, she's like, my God, it was my most challenging task. But she really enjoyed it. And she said, I'm really grateful because those half an hour, it's like they were for her, just for her. That time was just for her. And even though it was kind of, I forced her to do it, it was just for her. So she learned how to be still with my candle. I wouldn't want my candle to be a training exercise, but still, it's if it has to be. I mean, you can order a candle from here, you can buy something, but yeah. So they need to learn how to be still and not being afraid that they are wasting time and they are losing an opportunity. So another thing that they need to learn is how to cope with their anxieties, with their chaos inside and outside. It is very, very important for masculine women to learn how to embrace. So why they're always outside? Because inside is usually this crazy chaos going on, like so many thoughts, so many actions. I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to see this person, I need to do this person. And when they finally sit down, it's like their body is so used to be all over the place that they want to jump and do something. Like I, even when I sit next to them, to very active, like to very masculine women, I can feel they breathe like this. So I can feel the energy is running so fast, so much faster than my own. When after my socializing was masculine women, I usually became chaotic myself because since I'm a Reiki practitioner, I tend to kind of to grasp the energy and neutralize it. So I have to take a little bit of hers to give my, so to make it neutral. So they need to learn not only to be still, but cope with this anxiety and then and chaos that is inside. So to make themselves really present in the moment. So another thing, what they need to do is look for the validation inside. You can't constantly look for validation outside. It's not right. because at one point you won't be getting it, and then what will happen? I mean, like we spoke a couple dialogues ago about Marilyn Monroe. She was very much afraid to lose her beauty and to become old. Why? Because this is the only thing that was validating her, the only really reason how she was becoming, how she was getting this validation. So who knows? I mean, what if she would be old and not as beautiful? I mean, she would be suffering. She was suffering when she was beautiful. So they need to find the validation side. How to find the validation side? To praise themselves for what they already accomplished. For example, you attending my dialogue today. That's already an accomplishment. Sunday morning, you're attending and you're learning something new. That's a huge accomplishment. I'm sure if you probably if doing something else also, like masculine women always do something parallel, so you're already doing two things at the same time, and it's amazing. It's like, so basically, I used to even do this. You need to have like an accomplishment journey. I used to write 5 things that I would accomplish every single day. Even if I don't do nothing, I'll find something, just so my mind gets used to to the thought that I always accomplish something and I'm great like that. So I would write down anything. Like, I did yoga for half an hour, even if I'm watching Netflix and I'm doing some yoga, great. I watched this Netflix series I wanted to watch, great accomplishment, and I would just write down all the accomplishment. This way, I know that I'm great without, well. So I never really needed that much validation. But when I was masculine, when I felt like I'm wasting time, I would find my mind the proof that I am successful already, even if I didn't leave the house. So the mind really doesn't need an outside validation, or the mind needs some kind of validation. So another one is, don't take quietness for weakness. Well, actually, women that are in energy of air, they are very quiet also. But don't take, if somebody is not active, if they don't respond, if they don't take it for a weakness. Just because a woman is feminine doesn't mean that she's weak. She could be much stronger than you. Just because she doesn't respond with aggressiveness doesn't mean that she's weak. So I think a lot of women, masculine women, underestimate their opponents because of that, because they believe, they see weakness instead of strength. Why not to see strengths in everybody? I see strengths in masculine women, I see strengths in feminine women. Yes, maybe there are things I don't like, but I still see strengths. So that's important. Now, so this is basically the kind of, mm, my advice, right? How to be how to become more feminine. So obviously they need to do as feminine women, feminine practices. They need to feel their body. They need to, the good exercise would be yoga, pilates. So something with the body, breathing exercises would be amazing. Also, masculine women need to eat more warm food. So truly all the food that they eat should be a little warm. Now, so these are masculine women, and so that's these are just a general advice that I would give them, right? Now with men, so they need to have relationships somehow. So if with friendship they can live with friendship or not, I mean, usually they kind of manage somehow to talk to people and be there. Now, the good thing about masculine women is that they are good at seeing their faults, so they don't mind to apologize. They're not emotional like that. They will apologize 100 times. They will be okay. So with men, so the difficult for the masculine women is that where will they find a man that is more masculine than them, right? It's challenging and it's hard. I would say that for them it's even more hard than for feminine women. They can be in with the man. They will can be even married, but if they're both in if she's in masculine energy, the man at one point will start cheating on her. They basically, often masculine women live with men as friends, so they connect on a different level, on more like a friendship level. So they suit each other basically, and so they can live together. So like for example, they pay 50-50 all the bills, they don't mind. So they basically, they just using each other, so to say. So they helping each other. Let's make it more beautiful. They helping each other. So she needs somebody around all the time to validate her, to give her warmth and some kind of pleasure. And he basically just doesn't mind to have a strong woman that will help her with the bills a little bit. So that's that. So it's hard for them now how to be with the man. So if a masculine woman finally find that man, she feels good with somebody. So what does she need to do to let it be like that? So she needs to allow a man to lead. Even if a man is weaker, she still needs to allow him to lead. Yes, I remember it was one situation I was in. I was with a very masculine man, and so we drove to another city for a dinner. He needed to meet somebody, like for a business venture, and I was just his date. So instead of me being quiet myself and just enjoy myself in the place, I felt like I need to compete with this man. So I started, basically, I was in that city already before, so I knew a few places there. So I started showing off. I was in this restaurant, I was in that restaurant, I was this, I was that. Okay, the man, how they felt in that moment, like, okay, so you're cooler than me now. Now what are you doing here? Like I want to be cool, not you. And the man, he actually told me that when we were driving back, he said, "Do you think it makes you more attractive if you when you're showing off where you are, like that you went to every single restaurant and that you know everything? Does it make you more confident?" And I was upset because I'm feminine. I was in dirty femininity at that time, but yet I was. It made me think. I'm saying the truth. You see. So yeah, so I'm saying the truth. So you need to allow man to lead. Basically, you could not let him not lead. You need to allow him to lead. Now another thing. So let's imagine I'm here in Miami. I already went to some nice places. Now I meet a man and he's offering me something nice, and I'm like, oh my god, I went to that place, disgusting. Let's go better to this one. If the place is nice, I shouldn't be like that. I could say, well, why don't we try something else, instead of me being like, oh, I know it all and you don't. And the man is probably trying. He's probably trying hard. So another thing is, you need to allow a man to act. So I know masculine ladies, they just, let's do it and let's do it fast, and let me organize it fast because I will do it better than you, and I will organize it all faster than you, and you will be satisfied. Now, but this is not right. A man has to be a man. A man wants to be a man, just like you want to act and be this great. A man also wants to feel like that, and actually, he has a right because he was born in a masculine body, and he has a right to care. He needs to this. He needs this for you, for his development. You need for your development to sit back and kind of trust him that he will be able to organize something for you. Now, coming from that, you need to learn patience. So yes, I know this is probably the most challenging. Like the most challenging for women, feminine women, is not to melt in anybody, to dissolve in other people. For masculine women, it's not to be patient. Remember, just because you're very active and you're ready to conquer the world in 3 days, doesn't mean that everybody else is. The people usually are, especially if they don't have too much fire in them, they usually slow like that. They don't do everything very fast. They don't think very fast. They have priorities. They have their own kind of plans. So you would need to learn how to be patient with everybody, with men, with friends. So the fourth one is to be in trust and acceptance. Now, this is very important, because how can you be with the man that you don't trust, that you don't believe that he can really provide for you, that he can contribute to your life, that he can do your life better? How? Like, you really need to believe and know that if it takes you if you need like a super wealthy man to feel like that, then go for a super wealthy man. But you need to have these feelings, otherwise you will feel pity for him, and he will know this, he will feel it, and he will never be able to recover. You guys will never feel, you will never be a power couple if a man is feeling that you feel sorry for him, if he doesn't feel like a hero. So yeah, so you need to be, you need to trust him, and you need to accept what he can give you. Again, if you have to, go for a man that's more high value, or more wealthier than you, or somebody. But you need to kind of admire him, you need to admire him for something. I know masculine ladies think that they can do all that and they're like super cool. I was that masculine woman, I was super successful, I had high income, I didn't need men, and I was treating them not so good, even though I drew really successful men to my life. Some of them, they would leave me, some I would leave myself, just because I just, so men really never left me, they would distance themselves, and then I would leave them. Kind of strange. Anyways, but you would need to trust a man and accept and know that he can cater to you. So another point is, you need to bond with the man, not be friends. So you need to be sexually attracted to that man. Like, you really need to feel his energy, your energy, that they connect together, that they're great together. You could not be friends with the man. If you want to be a friend with the man, this is a wrong approach. Man shouldn't be a friend. You should never become too comfortable with him. It loses that passion. You will lose the passion. You will lose the um, that feeling that you have, that fire, basically. You will not also respect him if you will get like that. So with men, you need to kind of be even maybe a little scared, not a little scared, but respect him so much that you imagine that your man is maybe a movie star, right? How would you act when there is a movie star next to you? You will admire and respect him so much. You will be yourself, but you will respect and admire him so much that you wouldn't allow yourself to act like you would do with around a friend, right? You would be respectful towards that man, and that's how you should be with your man, or with any man, actually. um, Actually, this exercise helped me a lot. When you imagine somebody great with you, somebody that you really admire, like a movie star, somebody that you really like, that you would really be even nervous when they will show up into. One of the rules of geishas is to always act as if you would have this man in your life next to you all the time. So even when I'm home, I'm always dressed nicely. So it's not, I mean, I'm obviously not in a ball gown and high heels, but I'm always dressed good. My hair is always done. I mean, I don't put makeup much, but I'm always put together. And that's how it should be. Like, I don't allow myself, not even don't allow, I don't even feel comfortable to be like in my pajamas all day, or my hair not brushed. And the same should be with a man. So you could not be friends with the man and just feel comfortable to look as whatever. It's not right. So another thing is, you shouldn't be competing with the man. No competition and no arguing. This is also very hard, because a man needs a validation from a woman. He needs to know that he's loved and appreciated by a woman, that oh my god, I'm already talking 48 minutes. Okay, two more points and we're done. So that he needs to know that he's a hero for her, that she admires him, right? So if he will come and say, hey, did you see the market is so great, my investments went up like $4,000, right? And the woman will be, oh, you know what, and mine went 6,000. I mean, why would you say that? Why would you compete with the man? Why not to say, great, so a couple more thousand and I can have a new bag. So it's what I notice. I noticed it from myself and from my friends, from my colleagues. Masculine women like to compete, and they compete with everybody. They compete with little kids. They compete with their kids. They compete with their men. They compete with everybody. Like, hello, there need to be some kind of borders. You're not at work. Don't compete with your own with people that love you, that you love, or at least trying to love. So don't compete with the man. Don't try to prove him that you are better, that you are stronger, that you are more successful. That was my fault. I was always doing it, and I believed that if I don't show that how successful I am, he wouldn't be interested in me. Unfortunately, it was actually opposite. I think if I won't be this successful, they would be more pleased with me. I mean, they respected me because I was successful, but they didn't want to cater to me. They didn't want to care for me. So no argument also. Who argues with the man? It's masculine energy that argues. Feminine energy does not argue. If you don't like something, and that's it. And let the man think, what are you over there in your world? What is happening in your world that you're so quiet? Now, and the last one is you need to see strengths in men. You truly, truly need to see strengths in men. I know a masculine woman can be very, very strong, and they probably don't see that much strength in men because they're strong themselves. So they take it for granted. And then if a man shows some strengths, they will be like, whatever, I'm even stronger than him. But this is a little incorrect. You do need to see strengths. The more strengths you will see in men, the more you will be able to. The more he will be showing you that strength. Remember, your mind is looking for the proof. So if you will see strengths in him, at one point he will show more strengths like that in future. So as a recap, masculine women are the women in air and fire energy. They're usually very strong. Their physique is very beautiful and bright. They very put together. They're very slender. Usually they're the most beautiful women. They are not emotional, so men love them often because they're not clingy, they're not emotional, they're not like this. Yeah, they're demanding, but they don't put emotions in. They can negotiate and make deals, kind of. They can get money easy. They don't have fears. They're very confident usually. They have a huge network. They know a lot of people. They're easy to connect to others. They're easy to start new projects, to experience life, to do something new. They're very independent. Now, the shortcomings are they don't have no pleasure, no love, no vision usually in them. They're usually very lonely because they can connect with people, but they cannot grew the relationship. It's kind of hard for them. Remember, masculinity goes vertical, so it's just okay, I connect with this, I connect with this, I connect. It doesn't grow this relationship. They don't have enough softness, and they need an outside validation all the time. If you will take a masculine person and look at the masculine person in the room, they probably will go crazy within like couple days. So what to do? They need to learn how to be still. They need to learn how to feel their body. They need to learn how to stop the anxiousness in them, the chaos in them. They also need to learn how to look for validation inside, and they need to learn to admire the softness of femininity and vulnerability and not see it as a weakness. With men, so these women need men in their life for sure, because they need the men help them to develop femininity. And with the man, this is the relationship, how it's supposed to go. They need to allow men to lead. They need to allow men to act. They need to trust that the man can lead and can act, and they accept how he leads and acts. Again, don't forget, we're not losing the standards. So it's not like a man says, okay, I'm saving money for the new car, so we're not going out for the next half a year. I mean, obviously you don't, unless you really want that car and he's buying it for you, you can make such sacrifice. But unless you don't accept if it's not your standard. So, but if he is trying and you see that he is delivering, you just maybe not like you used to be delivered, right? Maybe you go to eat sushi every Friday and he now asks you to go eat steak with you. Just because he's asking you to a different restaurant doesn't mean that he's not trying. Just why not to trust and go with the flow? um, bond with the man through energy, through sexual energy, instead of being friends with them. So no, don't connect with the man just because he's convenient for you. Don't compete, don't argue with men, and see strengths in men. The more you will see strengths in men, the stronger man you will get. Remember, the more you see weakness in men, the weaker man you will get. And I know this from my own experience. I remember I was even with my friends. I even remember which place we were. It was in Brooklyn, and I said, "This man is just, why do I get only weak men in my life?" I remember this very, very well. And then somebody, the girl that I didn't, she came with somebody as like a friend or whatever, I don't know. And she said, "Well, maybe because you're saying this, maybe you need to see something different in them." And it was an eye opener for me. I did. I only see weaknesses, and I only saw weaknesses because I was afraid of strong men, because I didn't know how to operate around that. I was weak men, I can push them around. I mean, I can tell them what I want, what I don't want, and I really didn't care. With strong men, that wouldn't work. Remember, strong masculine man doesn't put up with a lot of um, with a lot of stuff that doesn't suit him. He will leave and move on very fast. So, okay, I'm done. If there are any questions, let's go over them. Remember, today is 29th lunar day. Don't forget to clean your apartment. I did it yesterday because today I have the dialogue. But on the 29th lunar day, it's always good to clean your apartment or house and also do the energetic cleaning. I do every single month energetic cleaning. If you will be interested how to do it, I have step by step process in my Instagram. I can send it to you. So it's like really like a process. And usually when you move into a new apartment, or when you are like, if you don't feel good in your apartment, or if you feel heavy energy, or if you're fighting in the apartment very often, it's always good to do it, especially if you never done it. Usually you need to do it a few um, a few times for the energy to clear up. That it's like a whole process. And once you clear up the energy in your space, usually you will be able to do something much faster and easier. So there's no this heavy energy that drags you down. You will feel much lighter. Much It's usually a good feeling. How long does it take to have the perfect feminine energy, to have balance, basically? Well, I would say that it's a lifelong commitment. And I mean, it's interesting, honestly, because like you go like there is levels, and it's good that there are levels. Like me, I was born in a dominant feminine energy. Then I was brought up in masculine energy. I was operating in masculine energy for like 30 years. Then I finally realized, okay, it's not working for me. Something is wrong. I got one book, another book that was talking about feminine energy. I was like, what? Then, then I started watching these women that were like in feminine energy. I'm like, so there is a different life to where I was living, and obviously, why not to try? Maybe that's mine. So if masculine path is not working for me, then maybe I should try um, uh, like a feminine path. So I started developing, and it's gradually, basically. So little by little, you trust the universe. You kind of know that everything will be good. You become softer, but it doesn't happen overnight, because we're so used to be driven by on cortisol, on hormone of stress. And then at one day you won't be able to just sit and just like, okay, everything is good. Even now, as feminine as I am, as strong energetically as I am, as like I know, like I'm in trust and acceptance as I am. Sometimes I wake up and my cortisol is off the roof, and I have this almost panic attacks. I mean, I know how to stop it right away. Like if I had a bad dream, um like I know how to get myself back. Like within maybe 10-15 minutes, I'm back in my soft and pleasurable state. But what I want to say, it's still, so even after what 7 years it's been for me, even no longer, I think. But I'm still I'm still sometimes have this lapse. Sometimes I become very masculine too. Like it was an eye opener for me 2 months ago. I was going on a date with this guy. I was supposed to go, and I start taking actions. Like the guy was busy, and I understand, and I was impatient. So I'm like, okay, let me make the reservation, or let me this, And then the guy became uninterested, and I'm happy that he became uninterested because of that, because I was too masculine out of nowhere. Like, why would I be even? So I kind of took my energy and I backed off a little bit. And like a week after, he basically called me. He's like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I was married, blah blah blah." So, anyways, but yeah, sometimes it happens. So it's a life lifelong project. But the more you will be in this, the easier it is for you. I have nothing against masculinity. I'm working on masculinity. It's just it has to be clean masculinity, and it has to be only 25% of the time. So, like me right now, I'm doing the dialogue. I'm in masculine energy. Then I will go to the gym. I will be in masculine energy. But so maybe then I will talk to my clients, also masculine energy. But after that, I am 75% in my feminine energy, because that's my driver, basically, my the pleasure. And but overall, if to really work hard on yourself, and work with somebody, with like a mentor. Like, you really need somebody. Like, I had a few mentors, because you need an outside source that would tell you what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. It probably will take a couple of years. I think a couple of years should be enough if you really work on yourself and do everything that you need to do. Um, so yeah, after 2 years. So as long as you open your second, fourth, and sixth chakras and they're working, it's already easier. Then you need to clean up your masculine energy, and then you need to develop your feminine energy. So these are the steps. But to clean up your masculine energy, first step, if you were born in masculine energy, so you could not be ego driven all the time. You have to be a little analytical. You could not be so masculine. People usually are driven on their ego, which is wrong, obviously. I mean, and they that's what they need. They need to start thinking for themselves for the first time, like not do what people expect them to do, what they think people need to see them to be, to validate them. They need to start thinking, I mean, is it really what I want to do or not? And then they can start developing their femininity. So yeah, a couple of years, I think, should be perfect. Yes, please send the link. I will. I think I might need to do it finally. Yeah. It doesn't take that long. It's just a process, step by step. For me, it takes like to clean energetically the apartment, maybe 10 minutes. I mean, I do the cleaning once a month. I do it myself, and I do like everything. I make sure that all the clothes that I don't wear, like torn or something, I threw away or give away. So it's like, I like it. It's like a process that you clear up the space for the new months. I enjoy it. And yeah, it doesn't take long, but it's a process, like step by step by step by step. And you, at one point, you just it seems like overwhelming. It's not really. It's not. So I will send it. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions for my masculine lady? So next Sunday we're going to talk about feminine energy. And if you think that women that were born in feminine energy are just lucky ones, they just got um, luck from the universe when they were born, you might be mistaken. Yes, they are fortunate that they were born in this energy, but they were born in a masculine society. Is it? I mean, especially my generation, a generation prior to mine. Right now, women are more open, so they basically they allow their kids to develop as they are. But before, I mean, you have to go to school and you have to build a career, you have to make money. So I know it was not very easy. Um, there. So Maria said, "Thank you, Anastasia, for the dialogue. A lot of things about me." Yes, I know. My sister and my mom are both in dominant masculine energy. One is energy of air, one is energy of fire. So I know, I can feel those women, and I know how they operate. So I do a lot of exercises for increasing feminine energy, and I feel that I became calmer, more relaxed, but there is more opportunity to grow. Of course, of course. And this is what something my sister does that maybe will be helpful to others. She turns off the phone at like 2 hours before going to sleep. So as masculine as she is during the day, and she's very active and everything, she finds she's strong enough to turn off the phone and basically just relax and be in her space for 2 hours, which would be great for masculine women. It would be great for anybody, but for masculine women especially, because sometimes they working, and then they couldn't even sleep because they could not relax. I have two clients that that they are masculine. They taken sleeping pills because they couldn't relax. Their bodies are always in this chaos. They need to somehow fall asleep. So this is actually brilliant. I mean, it's I admire I admire that she can do that. I even cannot do this. But on the other hand, I don't have a problem. I can be staring at the phone and I'd be just flowing in my pleasure like that, and I do it often, honestly. So yeah. But it would be a good start. Maybe not 2 hours before going to sleep, but at least like half an hour, just to be by yourself. It teaches you how to be comfortable in your own, just by yourself without anybody around, and you will be fine. It's not like the world is not going to end just because you are by yourself. Okay. Any more questions, or should we finish up? So feminine energy, women and feminine energy next time. I do encourage you all to come, because even though you think, okay, so I'm not feminine, why would I be going to this dialogue? Well, because you have probably friends that are in feminine energy, and it's always good to know how they, or maybe relatives, how they think, what makes them powerful, what makes them weak, and then you can bond with them more, because we learn from each other. I learn from masculine women. Women learn from me. So it's always good to know the strengths and weaknesses of each other. Also, again, tomorrow is new moon. Don't manifest anything. Manifest on Wednesday. If I'm feeling that I want everything to be perfect, is it also masculine energy? Yeah, it's dissatisfaction with yourself. You basically are not happy with yourself, so you feel like if you will do outside perfect, then maybe you will be at least somehow satisfied with yourself. It's not true. mm, like, for example, me, sometimes when I'm a little anxious, it doesn't happen to me often, I start cleaning up. I will take my bouquet of flowers and go and cut them and just put them, rearrange them. I will like look through, like on my table, I will arrange everything perfectly. So it's usually because inside is some kind of chaos that I could not clear up, that I could not make comfortable for myself. So I'm trying to do it outside. I'm trying to create the outside world perfect. So inside I will feel some perfect. But it is masculine as well, because femininity is actually rather chaotic. Not chaotic, but it's just more like, okay, I'm here, I'm there, like it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that they have a mass around them and they don't like perfection. They do, but they see perfection a little differently. They see perfection like in imperfections. So imperfections make you perfect. That's what femininities see. So it's like, and they don't, yeah, they maybe overthink a little bit, but they don't try to they they are okay with having some kind of faults, and they're okay with other people having faults as well, which is good. So yeah, but it is usually, it's inside. If you want to try to do something outside, it's inside. Like if somebody who wants to have a lot of money outside, usually they don't feel secure inside. They just feel like they could not conquer. Usually this is feminine. weak femininity. They feel like they don't know, they're not sure about what's going on in the world, about how they're going to be, and stuff like that. And that's when they want to create a lot of money outside. Or if they want to have love outside so much, like, oh, I'm so ready to have a husband, I'm so ready to be in relationship, it's usually when they don't have love inside. Like they feel so lonely and empty inside. They're craving for a person who will come to their life and basically give the love. I don't know how can somebody give you love if you don't have it inside. It's kind of weird, but that's basically what it is. So it's always come from the inside. Yeah. When I have clients and when they come to the consultation and I ask them, what do you want? Like usually, and when they tell me what do they want, I usually understand at once what the lacking inside. What is it inside that they don't have? It's so easy. It's really, really easy. I also, from that, what they want, I can tell them um, who, like, what kind of relationship they have with the parents. I mean, it's so easy, really. It's like an open book. Everything you would think that somebody is so deep, but no, it's actually we are very, very, very open. And if you know exactly what to look in, it's very easy to find out what the person is missing, what their weaknesses are, and where to look, because usually it's obviously the parents and the childhood. Okay, any more questions? Helena, your flowers are so beautiful. They opened up. Usually I don't buy flowers like that. They're like a mix of, but this is just amazing. Beautiful. And tomorrow is the new moon again. be cautious. Don't be aggressive. Remember, don't be aggressive. The sun and Mars are in Scorpio right now, and it's opposing Taurus. So Scorpio is very vengeful, very aggressive, very vengeful. Especially men in Scorpionian energy. Don't make them mad. Don't make any man, because it's just not a good time to make anybody mad tomorrow or today. Be cool. Be peaceful. All right, then we're finishing up. I'll see you. Yes. I will see you next Sunday. Thank you very much for those who come, and we can answer questions, ask questions. It's always amazing, and I will see you all on Sunday. Helena, I'm going to send you the link for the cleaning of the apartment. Anybody else needs can put a comment, and I will put the link in there too. And that's it. Thank you, Maria, for being here in a very busy schedule. But thank you very much, and I see you all next Sunday. Bye, TikTok.